All right, so before thinking about starting a career in user experience design, it's very important to understand what does it take really to do this job? What type of activities or tasks do you get to do as a user experience designer? That way you will know what you're getting into and you will see if this career is for you or not really. So the very first idea that I want you to focus on is the idea of user experience. When we talk about user experience, it doesn't mean that it is something that's specific to the world of apps and websites, although it is. But just so you know, user experience, it could be a learning experience. It could be service experience. It could be anything. And when we say user, it just tends to speak to the world of software and the world of apps and web development and anything that has a user interface. So user interface, UI, you will hear this acronym a lot, is actually what is specific to what user experience designers do. They design anything that other human beings will interact with, either digitally or even sometimes things that are not digital, let's say a kiosk or an ATM. So I want you to remember that this is specific to the world of websites and apps, but it can also be specific to anything that has a user interface. So first, let's think about what does it mean to develop software in today's modern world. There are a lot of software companies, a lot of startup companies such as, those apps that now change our lives like DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, and other apps that help you, meet the love of your life, like dating apps. So if you understand how software gets built or how apps get built today, you will understand how UX designers are in that equation. What is their role in that situation? So there are a few people who get involved in the world of creating a software application, be it for desktop or for mobile. And the very first thing that you need to remember is that we have many people who are in this. So it's not just developers. So you have developers. For developers, you have front-end developers and back-end developers. You have product managers. So those who are actually let's say the parents of that product. So they are the people who see that product grow from becoming a baby to becoming an actual mature person. When I say product, it means a solution, a software solution. We have business analysts, so people who think about the business side of this application or software. We have program managers, so those who actually try to orchestrate that project, from the tasks to the deadlines to who does what, to keeping people in check so that they do what they're supposed to do. You have stakeholders. It's usually people who sponsor these projects. It's those who are executives or those who own the business and need people to help them build that solution that is going to involve a user interface and a user experience. Then you have project sponsors. Project sponsors are those people who usually we just need to report to or that are going to benefit financially in some way from this project. But sometimes they're also just the people who are funding this project and are actually wanting it to happen in an organization. I'm thinking about corporations here and startups in general. So a project sponsor could be a VP, Vice President of Digital Transformation, or it could actually be the CEO of a startup. You have QA engineers. They are called QA because they are quality assurance engineers. These are people who check after the application is coded and almost there to be going live. They are the people who will check on how the application is functioning. Are there any issues with it? Is it working well? Is anything that we're linking to that app, let's say databases or other aspects, are all connected and everything is working well? Is there any security issue, any security breach, any other considerations to keep in mind? So there are people who are involved in this project. Obviously, we have UX designers, and that's your interest here. These are the people who will get into thinking about the whole user experience. So anybody who's going to interact with our application or software, what are the steps or key moments that they're going to go through? What is it that they're going to experience? Where would they click? Where would they go? What do they want to see? What is better for them? What's frustrating? What's easier for them to build? We have UI designers. UI designers are a little bit more on the visual side. So sometimes the UX designer does the UI design and the thinking about the experience, but sometimes you have people who are specialized in visual design or UI design, where they think about the visual identity, the brand, the colors, the illustrations, the icons, and everything. So that's kind of a little bit of an overview of all the people who are involved in this process. Now I want you to think about the whole software development lifecycle. How do we get from an idea to an actual application or software? And obviously there is no real secret sauce here. There is no one-size-fits-all approach. The companies have their own secret sauce of building software, and they will not tell you, but there is a general overall process that is kind of common across all companies. And if you understand this process, then you will understand how is the UX designer involved in all of these steps, in all of these processes, okay?